This is the ROG Ally X.
What is going on, everybody? So, the information and details are finally out regarding ASUS's ROG Ally X. And well, it's everything the leak said it would be. It has 24 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, capable of storing a full-size SSD inside, a different spot for the SD card slot, and of course an 80 watt-hour battery. And surprisingly, that's not the only thing that has improved with the new ROG Ally X, or just the ROG Ally 2nd generation, or ROG Ally Black. The triggers are shaped slightly different, and the macro buttons in the back are a little smaller and easier to press. Along with that, of course, there are new ergonomics with this device, and it is slightly heavier, specifically 70 grams heavier than the original ROG Ally X, and that is a bit heavier than the Steam Deck OLED, and a considerable amount heavier than the original ROG Ally. But I feel like, given the amount of battery, that's still an impressive feat for ASUS. Considering there's twice as much battery in the ROG Ally X, I'm surprised and just astonished that they were able to make it so dang light, especially considering there's a bit more grip with this handheld. And I know the big question is, will I be getting an ROG Ally X? Well, honestly, ASUS still has a lot to prove when it comes to their handhelds and just their hardware in general. They still have a ton of answers to provide people concerning the SD card slot and the fact that the older ROG Ally had a faulty fuse with that SD card slot. So that means that the thermals weren't 100% the reason why these slots were malfunctioning. And that's kind of a big deal because, well, ASUS hasn't officially announced or made a statement concerning the SD card slots and the fact that it was 100% the thermals doing. And I think they know that they haven't used the best parts with the ROG Ally, and they had to compromise with certain hardware. And of course, I'm talking about the SD card slot's fuse. So considering that and the fact that they haven't made any kind of comment regarding the SD card slots, I'm assuming they're using the same type of SD card slot with the same parts, i.e. the same exact fuse, which means that even when it has a 6-degree difference in terms of cooling capabilities, it doesn't seem to matter because the SD card slot is still made out of the same material which was featured in the ROG Ally original. So we will see if ASUS can prove themselves trustworthy, because they do have that 2-year warranty plan with the original ROG Allies. They have extended it over the 1 year, but we don't know exactly how long the warranty is going to be with the ROG Ally X. I do agree with a lot of the other YouTubers that have had the opportunity to get their hands on the ROG Ally X. Even though it is a remarkable device and a clear win over the original ROG Ally, there's still a lot to consider in terms of reputation and trustworthiness with ASUS. And I do 110% agree with people that just do not trust ASUS. It is very unfortunate, and it is honestly sad that ASUS is dodging a lot of questions and they're just telling people, hey, look at this shiny thing. Don't mind those other issues. It's sort of a desperate attempt to get your attention away from the actual issue at hand, which is the SD card slots and their RMA service. Until ASUS fixes all of those issues in terms of communication, reliability, and just reputation, I'm not sure if I'm going to be picking up an ROG Ally X. And also, it is the predicted $800 price tag, which I kind of thought would be the most sensible and reasonable price for something with that kind of battery. And well, that's honestly just a lot more money for me to spend, especially since it's only been a year after. Even with the Steam Deck OLED, even though it came with a better battery, better RAM, and an OLED display, I still didn't want to give up my Steam Deck at the time because, well, I didn't want to spend another $300 or $400 on a new model since, well, they pretty much do the exact same thing. Just like with the ROG Ally and ROG Ally X, they kind of do the same thing, but the ROG Ally X can do it slightly faster and for a longer amount of time. I think the ROG Ally X is the definitive ROG Ally to get. If you don't get the ROG Ally X, I'm not sure what's wrong with you, but the original ROG Ally is $600, so that is quite the jump in its price, especially since the ROG Ally X is capable of doing so much more. A full SSD slot means that you can get up to 16 terabytes in this thing, which is something that so many people have been asking for. Some people on YouTube say that they don't know why they increased SSD size, but it is something that I've been wishing handhelds would have done since Steam Deck's release. A lot of people were trying to solder in or cut off a piece of full-size SSDs just so they can get a bigger capacity in the Steam Deck. But now you don't have to do that. With the ROG Ally X, you can put a full-size SSD and whatever size you want it to be. It could be 8 terabytes and it's only like $200. This is groundbreaking. This is something that's going to push me to eventually get an ROG Ally X, of course, but I'm waiting for ASUS to address and apologize for a lot of things before I can trust them to spend another $800 on any of their devices. I do 100% back this up, and I am going to semi-boycott ROG Ally X until there's some kind of saving grace comment from ASUS. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the ROG Ally X and all the details that have officially been announced. I think this device is amazing and absolutely perfect for anybody that wants to take their PC games on the road for a very long time. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a good one. Later.